Salman al-Farsi, whose name literally means Salman the Persian, stands as one of the most extraordinary figures in early Islamic history. His life story reads like a spiritual odyssey, one marked by relentless searching, immense sacrifice, and an unshakable commitment to truth. To truly appreciate his journey, we must begin at the very beginning. In Persia, in a world vastly different from the Arabian Peninsula, where he would eventually become a beloved companion of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Salman was born into a devout Zoroastrian family in the region that today is Iran. Zoroastrianism was the dominant religion of Persia at the time, with its intricate rituals, fire temples, and a dualistic worldview centered on the eternal struggle between the forces of good and evil. From a young age, Salman was immersed in this ancient faith, which emphasized purity, morality, and devotion to Ahura Mazda, the supreme god in Zoroastrian belief. His upbringing was strict and regimented. The teachings he received emphasized loyalty to tradition and the spiritual authority of the priestly class. Yet even as a child and youth, Salman felt a growing sense of restlessness. The rituals and beliefs of his community, while deeply ingrained, did not satisfy his inner longing for a more complete spiritual truth. The burning fire in the temples, the prayers, and the teachings of the priests all seemed unable to quench the deeper thirst he felt. A thirst not just for ritual correctness, but for ultimate meaning and connection with the divine. This inner turmoil planted the seed of what would become a life-changing quest. The cultural and religious landscape of Persia at that time was complex. While Zoroastrianism was the dominant faith, there were pockets of other religious communities, including Christians and Jews. Trade routes connected Persia to distant lands, and ideas traveled along with merchants and travelers. It was through these channels that Salman heard of the teachings of Jesus Christ and the Christian communities in the Near East. Stories of a prophet who preached love, humility, and devotion to one God stirred something in Salman's heart. Driven by a profound spiritual yearning, Salman made the difficult decision to leave behind the comforts and familiarity of his home. This choice was no small matter. In a society deeply attached to its traditions and hierarchy, abandoning one's faith and family carried severe social and emotional consequences. Nevertheless, Salman's resolve to seek truth outweighed all these challenges. His journey had begun, a journey not only of geography, but of the soul. Salman traveled westward toward the lands where Christianity flourished. He sought out Christian monks and scholars, hoping to find the answers that had eluded him in his native land. These encounters profoundly influenced him. The monks he met were often ascetic men who lived lives of simplicity, devotion, and prayer. Salman learned about the teachings of Jesus, about monotheism in its renewed form, and about the promise of salvation through faith and good deeds. These teachings resonated with him deeply, yet he also found that the Christian communities themselves were divided by differing interpretations and sects. Still, his time with the monks deepened his spiritual awareness and commitment. Salman's spiritual quest was not an easy path. He endured hardship, uncertainty, and alienation. His family disowned him for abandoning the Zoroastrian faith. At one point he was even sold into slavery, a tragic but formative chapter in his life. Yet his faith and dedication never wavered. Throughout these trials, Salman maintained an unshakable belief that the truth he sought was out there, a truth that transcended ethnic, cultural, and religious boundaries. As he moved closer to Arabia, rumors and stories reached him of a new prophet who had appeared in the city of Mecca. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was said to be a messenger, sent to restore the pure monotheism taught by earlier prophets. Intrigued and hopeful, Salman decided to seek out this prophet and learn firsthand about his message. When Salman arrived in Medina, He quickly recognized the truth in the Prophet's words and the sincerity of his mission. He embraced Islam wholeheartedly, becoming one of the first non-Arabs to do so. His journey, which had begun in Persia as a restless search for meaning, had now found its destination in the message of Islam. Salman's acceptance of Islam symbolized the universal and inclusive nature of the faith. It was not confined to one tribe, ethnicity, or region, but was open to all sincere seekers of truth. Salman's unique background made him an invaluable companion of the Prophet. His knowledge of Persian culture, Christian teachings, and his own personal spiritual journey enriched the early Muslim community. He brought new perspectives and insights that helped bridge cultural divides. One famous example was during the Battle of the Trench, where Salman suggested digging a trench around Medina as a defensive strategy, a tactic common in Persian warfare but unfamiliar to the Arabs. This idea proved instrumental in protecting the city from the siege. Moreover, Salman's life is a testament to humility and devotion. Despite his wide travels and knowledge, he never boasted of his experiences or heritage. Instead, he remained a humble servant of God and a loyal companion of the Ahl-e-Bait, the family of the Prophet. For Shia Muslims in particular, Salman is revered as a symbol of loyalty, faith, and the ideal of seeking knowledge, regardless of one's background. Throughout history, Salman al-Farsi's story has inspired countless believers. It highlights the power of faith to transcend boundaries, the importance of sincere seeking, and the rewards of patience and sacrifice on the path of truth. His life encourages Muslims to look beyond superficial divisions and to embrace the universal message of Islam with open hearts and minds. In the chapters that follow, we will delve deeper into the spiritual, social, and historical contexts of Salman's life. We will explore the details of his early years in Persia, his encounters with Christian monasticism, the challenges he faced as a seeker, and his eventual embrace of Islam. We will also examine his legacy within Sunni and Shia traditions, focusing on the lessons his life offers for contemporary believers. Salman al-Farsi's journey is more than a historical account. It is a timeless narrative of hope, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of divine truth. His example encourages every seeker to keep striving, no matter the obstacles, and to trust that sincere efforts to find God will be rewarded. The Trials of Seeking Truth. Salman al-Farsi. Among the Christians and the path to Islam after leaving Persia, Salman al-Farsi embarked on what would become one of the most profound spiritual journeys in history. His quest for truth was fueled by an insatiable curiosity and an unwavering faith that the ultimate light of guidance awaited him beyond the horizons of his homeland. This part of Salman's life reveals the immense struggles and sacrifices he endured to grasp the divine truth, as well as his exposure to the Christian faith, which greatly shaped his worldview and prepared him for his eventual embrace of Islam. As Salman journeyed westward from Persia, he found himself in territories where Christianity had taken root. The Christian communities of the Near East, including those in Syria and Palestine, were known for their devotion and ascetic lifestyles. Salman sought out these communities, hoping to learn from their spiritual practices and teachings. His initial encounters were with monks and priests who dedicated their lives to prayer, meditation, and the study of scriptures. One of the defining features of Salman's time with the Christian monks was his profound admiration for their discipline and devotion. The monks lived austere lives, often in remote monasteries, separating themselves from worldly distractions to focus on spiritual growth. Salman was deeply moved by their commitment to God, their belief in the oneness of God, and their reverence for Jesus Christ as a prophet and messenger. He studied their holy books, particularly the Bible, and was impressed by the emphasis on compassion, humility, and the eternal struggle between good and evil. However, while Salman appreciated much of Christian teaching, he remained unsettled. The divisions among Christian sects, each with its own interpretations of scripture and theological differences, troubled him. He observed disputes between various Christian groups, such as the Nestorians and Monophysites, which weakened the unity of their message. For Salman, true faith could not be fragmented. It had to be simple, direct, and universally accessible. Despite these concerns, Salman continued to absorb the spiritual wisdom offered by Christianity. He took vows of asceticism himself and tried to live the monastic life, yet his heart remained restless. The truth he sought was still beyond his grasp. His spiritual journey was far from over. During this period, Salman's life took a tragic turn. His family, upon learning of his departure from Zoroastrianism and his adoption of Christian beliefs, disowned him. In the cultural context of Persia, at the time, such apostasy was seen as a grave betrayal, and families often cut ties with those who abandoned the ancestral faith. Salman became an outcast, severed from the support and love of his kin. This loss was compounded by an even harsher fate. While traveling, Salman was captured and sold into slavery. This forced separation from freedom and family marked one of the darkest chapters in his life. Yet even in bondage, Salman's faith and resolve never wavered. He viewed his suffering as a test from God, a purification that would ultimately lead him closer to the truth. During his enslavement, Salman was transported to Arabia, a land then marked by tribalism, polytheism, and social divisions, yet soon to be transformed by the message of Islam. His arrival in Arabia placed him in a unique position, a Persian by birth, a former Zoroastrian, a student of Christianity, and now a slave in a land on the brink of profound religious upheaval. Salman's enslavement in Arabia was difficult, but it also brought him into contact with a new religious movement. He heard whispers of a prophet in Mecca who preached monotheism and social justice, a man who claimed to be the final messenger of God. Stories of Muhammad, peace be upon him, reached Salman's ears through merchants, travelers, and early converts. His spiritual intuition told him that this was the light he had been searching for. His slave owner took him to Medina, where the Muslim community was growing under the Prophet's leadership. Here, Salman witnessed the transformation that Islam was bringing: social reforms, the unity of previously warring tribes, and the spiritual revival of the people. This was a community that welcomed outsiders, regardless of their origin or status, and embraced equality before God. Salman's acceptance of Islam was a turning point, both for him personally and for the wider Muslim community. He was among the earliest converts and became one of the Prophet's close companions. His previous religious and cultural experiences enriched his understanding and made him a bridge between different peoples and beliefs. One of the most notable contributions Salman made to the Muslim community was his strategic mind. During the Battle of the Trench, Ghazwat al-Khandaq, when Medina was besieged by a coalition of hostile tribes, Salman suggested digging a trench around the city's vulnerable areas, a tactic borrowed from Persian warfare traditions unfamiliar to the Arabs. This innovation helped protect Medina and demonstrated Salman's unique role as a cultural and military advisor. Salman's loyalty to the Prophet and the Ahl-e-Bait, the Prophet's family, became legendary. He was known for his humility, generosity, and profound faith. Unlike many who sought status or power, Salman remained focused on his spiritual mission. His story, told and retold throughout Islamic history, serves as a beacon for seekers of truth everywhere. From a Shia perspective, Salman al-Farsi holds an especially revered status. He is considered among the 14 infallibles, Masumin, in some traditions, and is recognized for his deep love and allegiance to the Ahl-e-Bait. His life exemplifies the ideal believer who combines knowledge, devotion, and unwavering loyalty to God's chosen family. In reflecting on Salman's journey, one is struck by the extraordinary nature of his perseverance. His life was marked by constant movement, physically across vast regions and spiritually through different faiths. Yet through all his trials, he never lost sight of his ultimate goal, to find and serve the true God. Salman's story is not only a historical account, it is a profound spiritual lesson. It teaches us about the importance of sincere seeking, the courage to abandon what is familiar for the sake of truth, and the humility to learn from different traditions without losing one's core faith. His journey reminds us that the path to God is often difficult, requiring sacrifice and patience, but it leads to a fulfillment that transcends all worldly attachments. As we continue to explore Salman al-Farsi's life, it is essential to consider the broader historical and cultural contexts. His journey unfolded during a pivotal era when the ancient world was witnessing the rise of Islam, a faith that would transform not only Arabia, but the entire globe. Salman's unique experiences as a Persian convert enriched this transformation, highlighting Islam's universal message and its call to transcend ethnic and cultural boundaries. We will delve deeper into Salman's role within the early Muslim community, his contributions to Islamic theology and practice, and his enduring legacy in both Sunni and Shia traditions. We will also explore the spiritual dimensions of his life, including his teachings on humility, knowledge, and devotion. Salman al-Farsi's life continues to inspire millions around the world. His journey from Persia to the heart of Islam symbolizes the universal quest for truth that defines the human spirit. Through his example, we learn that faith is not a static inheritance, but a dynamic journey, one that requires courage, openness, and unwavering dedication. Salman al-Farsi's role in the early Muslim community and his enduring legacy. Salman al-Farsi's journey toward Islam culminated in his deep integration into the early Muslim community, where he emerged not only as a loyal companion of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, but also as a trusted advisor, a spiritual teacher, and a symbol of universal faith. His unique experiences as a Persian convert, his broad religious background, and his profound spirituality enriched the Islamic tradition and left an indelible mark on Islamic history. Upon embracing Islam in Medina, Salman's life changed dramatically. He transitioned from being a slave and outsider to becoming an honored member of the Muslim community. His acceptance of Islam was not merely a change in religious affiliation, but a profound spiritual awakening that shaped his character and mission. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, recognized Salman's dedication and knowledge, treating him with respect and affection. Salman's close association with the Prophet allowed him to witness the formative years of Islam, learning directly from the final messenger of God. Salman's relationship with the Prophet's family, the Ahl-e-Bait, was particularly close. He is often described in early Islamic sources as one of the most devoted supporters of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, AAS, the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law, and the first Imam in Shia theology. Salman's loyalty extended beyond mere companionship. He actively supported the Ahl-e-Bait during times of trial and persecution, embodying the ideal believer who stands firmly by the Prophet's family. One of the most significant moments demonstrating Salman's importance within the Muslim community was during the Battle of the Trench, Ghazwat al-Khandaq, in 627 CE. This battle was a pivotal event in Islamic history, when Medina faced a coalition of hostile tribes seeking to annihilate the nascent Muslim community. The city was vulnerable to siege and attack, and conventional defense strategies were insufficient. Salman suggested digging a deep trench around the exposed parts of Medina, a tactic he had learned during his time in Persia, where such fortifications were common in warfare. Although unfamiliar to the Arab warriors, this strategy proved crucial. The trench prevented the enemy's cavalry and infantry from breaching the city walls, ultimately leading to the coalition's failure to capture Medina. This episode not only showcased Salman's strategic mind, but also symbolized the fruitful integration of diverse cultural knowledge into the Islamic community. Beyond his military contributions, Salman was renowned for his wisdom and spiritual insight. He was a man of deep knowledge, humility, and piety, qualities that made him a beloved figure among Muslims. He often spoke about the importance of sincerity in worship and the pursuit of knowledge. Salman believed that true faith transcended outward rituals and was rooted in the heart's connection to God. Salman's spiritual teachings have been preserved in various Islamic texts and traditions. One of his famous sayings is that knowledge is the lost property of the believer, and wherever he finds it, he has the right to take it. This aphorism captures Salman's inclusive view of knowledge and learning, reflecting his own diverse spiritual journey across religions and cultures. His openness to truth, regardless of its source, exemplifies the universal message of Islam, that all sincere seekers of God are part of a shared human quest. From the Shia perspective, Salman holds a particularly elevated status. He is regarded as one of the 14 infallibles, Masumin, in some Shia traditions, a group that includes the Prophet Muhammad, Lady Fatima al-Zahra, and the 12 Imams. This designation signifies Salman's spiritual purity, deep knowledge, and unwavering loyalty to the Ahl-e-Bait. His close association with Imam Ali and the other Imams further cements his place as a model believer and a spiritual guide. Salman's legacy extends beyond his lifetime. His story has been passed down through generations as a beacon of faith, perseverance, and humility. Muslim scholars and theologians have often cited him as an example of the ideal companion, one who combines knowledge, devotion, and service to God and his messenger. His life challenges believers to transcend narrow identities and to embrace the universal values of Islam. Moreover, Salman's example encourages Muslims to seek knowledge actively and humbly. His journey reminds us that faith is not static, but dynamic, requiring continuous learning and openness to truth. His willingness to embrace new teachings, to endure hardship, and to serve selflessly inspires believers to remain steadfast on their spiritual paths. Salman al-Farsi also symbolizes the inclusive and universal nature of Islam. As a Persian who became a beloved member of the Arab Muslim community, his life breaks down ethnic and cultural barriers. He embodies the Quranic teaching that all humans are equal in the sight of God and that the most honored among them are the most righteous. His integration into the Muslim community underscores Islam's message of unity amid diversity. His legacy is especially relevant in today's world, where issues of religious intolerance, cultural conflict, and ethnic divisions persist. Salman's life story offers a powerful reminder that faith should be a bridge rather than a barrier, fostering understanding and respect among diverse peoples. His example calls believers to embrace pluralism and to recognize the shared spiritual heritage of humanity. In addition to his spiritual and social contributions, Salman's personal character is a source of inspiration. His humility is evident in numerous accounts. Despite his knowledge and experience, he never sought worldly power or prestige. Instead, he devoted himself to serving the Prophet and the community quietly and faithfully. His simplicity and generosity endeared him to those around him. Another important aspect of Salman's legacy is his role as a spiritual teacher. He is credited with transmitting many hadiths, sayings of the Prophet, and was known for his profound understanding of Islamic theology and ethics. His teachings emphasize the importance of patience, gratitude, and reliance on God. He encouraged believers to seek inner purification and to live lives marked by compassion and justice. Salman's life also highlights the importance of patience and perseverance in the face of adversity. His years of hardship, from leaving his family and homeland to slavery to navigating unfamiliar cultures, exemplify the trials that often accompany sincere spiritual seeking. His eventual success in finding faith and community underscores the value of steadfastness and hope. From a historical perspective, Salman's influence extended into the political sphere as well. His close relationship with Imam Ali, A.S., and his support for the Ahl-e-Bait during turbulent times illustrate his commitment to justice and rightful leadership. In Shia thought, Salman is often seen as a symbol of loyalty to the divinely appointed Imams, standing against oppression and false authority. His example has been commemorated in Shia rituals and literature. During the month of Muharram and the remembrance of the tragedy of Karbala, Salman's name is often invoked as a model of faithfulness and courage. His steadfastness in supporting Imam Hussain, A.S., and the cause of justice resonates deeply with Shia believers. In Sunni traditions, Salman is also highly respected as one of the Prophet's companions and a key figure in early Islam. He is praised for his knowledge, piety, and service. His story serves as a unifying figure across sectarian lines, reminding Muslims of the shared heritage and values that transcend divisions. The enduring appeal of Salman al-Farsi lies in his embodiment of universal spiritual ideals, the quest for truth, the courage to change, the humility to learn, and the commitment to serve. His life encourages believers to look beyond the superficial markers of identity and to focus on the inner dimensions of faith and character. In conclusion, Salman al-Farsi's role in the early Muslim community and his lasting legacy reflect the depth and richness of his character. His journey from a Persian seeker to a beloved companion of the Prophet illustrates the transformative power of faith. His contributions to Islamic thought, his unwavering loyalty to the Ahl-e-Bait, and his embodiment of spiritual virtues continue to inspire Muslims worldwide. As we reflect on his life, we are reminded that the path of faith is often challenging, but rewarding. Salman's example shows that sincere seeking, patience, and devotion can lead to profound spiritual fulfillment. His story is a timeless testament to the universal message of Islam, one that calls all humanity to unity, justice, and compassion. The later years, spiritual teachings, and enduring influence of Salman al-Farsi. Salman al-Farsi's later years were marked by continued devotion, teaching, and close association with the Ahl-e-Bait, the family of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Even after the passing of the Prophet, Salman remained steadfast in his faith and commitment to the principles of justice, knowledge, and spiritual growth. His life journey, which had begun in the heart of Persia and traversed vast cultural and religious landscapes, culminated in a legacy that continues to inspire millions of Muslims across the world. Following the Prophet's demise in 632 CE, the Muslim community faced a critical period of transition and challenges. Salman stood firm alongside Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, whose leadership and rightful position as the first Imam is a central tenet in Shia Islam. Salman's unwavering loyalty to Imam Ali reflected not only his personal devotion but also his deep understanding of the spiritual and political significance of the Ahl-e-Bait. Throughout this period, Salman served as a trusted advisor and spiritual guide. His insights were sought in matters of faith, governance, and community affairs. His profound knowledge of religious texts and his wide-ranging experiences made him a respected authority. The respect he commanded was not based on worldly status, but on his integrity, wisdom, and humility. Salman's spiritual teachings emphasize several core principles that have become pillars in Islamic thought. Among these, his emphasis on humility and the inner purification of the soul stands out. He taught that true knowledge is not merely intellectual, but must translate into ethical behavior and closeness to God. For Salman, knowledge without humility was incomplete. He famously said that the seeker of knowledge should remain humble, for pride blocks the path to divine wisdom. This teaching resonates deeply with the broader Islamic emphasis on tazkiyah, purification of the heart and soul. Salman's own life embodied this ideal. Despite his profound learning and experience, he remained modest and always sought to serve others selflessly. Another key aspect of Salman's teachings is the universality of Islam. He believed that faith transcends ethnicity, nationality, and social status. His life was the ultimate example of this truth. From a Persian Zoroastrian to a devoted Muslim companion of the Prophet, Salman showed that spiritual truth is accessible to all sincere seekers regardless of their background. Salman also highlighted the importance of steadfastness and patience in the face of hardship. His years of exile, enslavement, and separation from family taught him that faith is tested through trials. He encouraged believers to remain firm and hopeful, trusting that God's guidance will eventually lead them to the right path. In theological discussions, Salman is often cited for his insights into the nature of divine justice and mercy. He emphasized that God's justice is perfect and that believers must strive to reflect this justice in their own lives. This emphasis aligns with the Shia focus on social justice and standing against oppression. Salman's personal spirituality was deeply intertwined with his love for the Ahl-e-Bait. He saw in the family of the Prophet the embodiment of divine guidance and moral excellence. His close companionship with Imam Ali, Fatima al-Zahra, and their descendants was a source of spiritual nourishment. In Shia thought, Salman is honored as a devoted servant who not only supported the Imams, but also preserved and transmitted their teachings. In terms of his legacy, Salman's impact is multifaceted. He is remembered as a bridge between cultures, a seeker of knowledge, and a paragon of faith and humility. His story transcends sectarian lines, inspiring both Sunni and Shia Muslims. Sunni traditions praise his companionship with the Prophet and his contributions to early Islamic history, while Shia traditions elevate him as a spiritual exemplar and loyal supporter of the Imams. One of the most enduring aspects of Salman's legacy is his representation of the universal call of Islam. His journey illustrates that Islam is a faith for all humanity, not confined by race or geography. This message is particularly relevant in today's globalized world, where Muslims of diverse backgrounds seek unity and common purpose. Salman's life also encourages interfaith understanding. His respectful engagement with Zoroastrianism, Christianity, and Islam highlights the possibility of dialogue and learning between faiths. His story offers hope that genuine seekers can find common ground and mutual respect, even amid religious differences. Culturally, Salman al-Farsi has been commemorated in literature, poetry, and oral traditions throughout the Muslim world. In Persian literature, his journey and virtues have been celebrated as symbols of spiritual quest and enlightenment. In Shia rituals, particularly during Muharram, his name is invoked alongside other revered figures as a model of loyalty and courage. His example also continues to influence Islamic scholarship and spiritual practice. Many Sufi traditions, which emphasize the inner dimensions of faith, draw inspiration from Salman's humility, perseverance, and quest for divine knowledge. He is often cited as a prototype of the spiritual seeker who overcomes worldly attachments to attain closeness to God. In the modern context, Salman's story serves as a powerful reminder of the value of intellectual openness and cultural inclusivity. His willingness to embrace new ideas and to learn from diverse traditions challenges contemporary Muslims to be open-minded and tolerant. His life urges believers to reject sectarianism and racism, instead fostering unity based on shared faith and values. Salman's journey also underscores the importance of personal sacrifice in the path of faith. His abandonment of homeland, family, and freedom illustrates the costs that sometimes accompany sincere spiritual seeking. Yet his ultimate fulfillment shows that such sacrifices are rewarded by divine grace. In educational settings, Salman al-Farsi's life is studied as an example of cross-cultural interaction and religious transformation. His story offers rich material for understanding early Islamic history, the dynamics of religious conversion, and the integration of diverse peoples into the Muslim community. The final years, legacy, and timeless lessons of Salman al-Farsi, a lasting beacon of faith and unity. Salman al-Farsi's life stands as a monumental example of unwavering faith, relentless pursuit of truth, and profound devotion to God and His messenger. As we reach the final chapter of his journey, from his last years to the enduring legacy he left behind, it becomes evident why Salman's story continues to inspire Muslims and spiritual seekers alike. His unique experiences and spiritual insights offer lessons that transcend time, culture, and religious boundaries. The final years of Salman al-Farsi. Though historical details about Salman's later life vary among sources, there is consensus that he lived with humility and dedication until his death, sometime in the mid-7th century CE. After the passing of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, A.S., Salman continued to support the Ahl-e-Bait and the Imams who followed. His loyalty remained steadfast despite the political upheavals and challenges facing the Muslim community during those turbulent years. Salman spent his final days in relative quietude, but remained an active guide to the faithful. His presence was a source of comfort and spiritual nourishment for many. He passed away with the dignity befitting a man who had traversed such an extraordinary path, a path marked by sacrifice, knowledge, and love for God. Reports suggest that Salman's grave is located in the city of Medina or in al-Basra, modern-day Iraq, though exact historical verification is challenging. Regardless of the physical location, his spiritual tomb lies firmly embedded in the hearts of Muslims worldwide. Enduring legacy, spiritual, cultural, and intellectual, Salman al-Farsi's legacy is multifaceted, encompassing spiritual teachings, cultural symbolism, and intellectual inspiration. His life bridges continents and traditions, symbolizing Islam's universal message. Spiritual legacy. Salman is remembered foremost for his deep spirituality. His teachings on humility, knowledge, and patience resonate with Muslims who seek to cultivate an authentic and heartfelt relationship with God. His example shows that true faith requires constant effort, self-purification, and a willingness to endure trials without losing hope. His spiritual journey exemplifies the concept of sabr, patience, in Islam, a quality essential for overcoming life's hardships. Salman teaches believers that no matter how difficult the journey, steadfastness brings one closer to divine truth. This spiritual message remains relevant for believers confronting personal and societal challenges today. Cultural symbolism. As Salman the Persian, he symbolizes the breaking down of ethnic and cultural barriers. In a time and place where tribal and ethnic identities often divided people, Salman's inclusion as a respected companion signaled Islam's call for unity and equality. He remains a figure celebrated not only in Arab lands but across the Persian world and beyond. Salman's life encourages respect for cultural diversity and highlights how faith can unify disparate peoples. His story is often invoked in interfaith and intercultural dialogues as an example of how sincere seekers from different backgrounds can find common ground. Intellectual inspiration. Salman's embrace of knowledge, regardless of its source, offers an enduring lesson for Muslims and others. His famous statement that knowledge belongs to the believer wherever it is found encourages openness and intellectual humility. In today's world, where knowledge is rapidly expanding and cultures intersect more than ever, Salman's example is a powerful call to engage respectfully with different ideas and traditions. Muslim scholars have often cited Salman as a model for lifelong learning and for integrating diverse knowledge into Islamic understanding. His legacy encourages academic pursuit and spiritual reflection hand in hand. Lessons from Salman al-Farsi's Life for Today. Salman's life is not just a historical narrative, it is a source of profound lessons that resonate in the contemporary world. The courage to seek truth. Salman's willingness to leave his family, faith, and homeland in search of spiritual truth is a powerful example of intellectual and spiritual courage. In a world often resistant to questioning and change, his story encourages believers to be brave in exploring and seeking deeper understanding. Embracing diversity and inclusivity. Salman's Persian origin and his acceptance in the Arab Muslim community demonstrate Islam's message of inclusivity. His story challenges all communities to transcend ethnic, cultural, and sectarian divides and to embrace the shared humanity that faith calls us to recognize. Patience and perseverance. Salman's years of hardship, exile, slavery, and alienation teach the importance of perseverance in the spiritual journey. His life reminds us that enduring trials with patience is part of the path towards spiritual fulfillment. The value of knowledge. Salman's respect for knowledge, wherever it is found, underscores the importance of education, inquiry, and open-mindedness. His example is especially relevant in the modern age of globalization, where knowledge crosses borders rapidly and understanding other cultures is vital. Loyalty and service. Salman's devotion to the Prophet and the Ahl-e-Bait exemplifies the highest ideals of loyalty and selfless service. His life calls believers to serve their communities and uphold justice and truth. Salman al-Farsi in Shia and Sunni traditions. While Salman is revered in both Sunni and Shia traditions, his place is particularly elevated in Shia Islam. He is considered one of the closest companions and supporters of the Ahl-e-Bait. His loyalty during the trials faced by Imam Ali and his successors makes him a symbol of steadfastness and righteousness. In Shia narratives, Salman is sometimes referred to as one of the 4 pillars of the faith, along with Abu Dar, Miqdad, and Ammar, who exemplified piety and unwavering devotion to Imam Ali and the true leadership of the Muslim community. In Sunni traditions, Salman is honored as a trusted companion of the Prophet Muhammad and a man of deep wisdom and humility. His contributions to Islamic history, such as his role in the Battle of the Trench and his spiritual teachings, are celebrated. Sunni scholars regard him as an exemplar of sincere faith and scholarship. This shared respect for Salman al-Farsi across sectarian lines highlights his role as a unifying figure in Islam. His life offers common ground for dialogue and mutual appreciation. Timeless beacon of faith, Salman al-Farsi's life journey, from a young Persian seeking spiritual meaning to a beloved companion of the Prophet Muhammad and a pillar of the early Muslim community, stands as a testament to the power of faith, knowledge, and perseverance. His story transcends time and culture, offering lessons that are as relevant today as they were in the 7th century. His courage to leave behind the familiar in search of truth encourages all believers to embrace intellectual and spiritual openness. His humility and devotion teach that knowledge must be paired with sincere worship and ethical conduct. His loyalty to the Ahl-e-Bait embodies the ideal of standing firmly for justice and righteousness. Salman's life reminds us that faith is a journey, often fraught with hardship, but ultimately filled with light for those who seek earnestly. He exemplifies Islam's universal call, a message that transcends race, culture, and nationality to unite all sincere seekers under the banner of monotheism and compassion. In a world often divided by misunderstanding and conflict, Salman al-Farsi's story shines as a beacon of unity, humility, and devotion. His legacy challenges Muslims and non-Muslims alike to pursue truth with courage, embrace diversity with love, and live lives dedicated to justice and faith. As we conclude this comprehensive exploration, we honor Salman al-Farsi not only as a historical figure, but as a living inspiration, a symbol of the universal human quest for meaning and divine connection. May his journey continue to inspire hearts and minds for generations to come.